Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video for Fire Emblem Heroes, and tonight we are getting the reveal of the next Mythic Hero to grace us in the game in just a few short days. So let's get started. I'm not looking at my screen right now. We're going to be surprised together with the reveal of the character. Let's hit play. So the title should be leaving now. Okay, let's take a look. A new Mythic Hero joins the battle, and who's it going to be? Oh, hey! Sun's Radiance! It's gonna be, one of the Valkyries. That's awesome! Dagr. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright, I wasn't expecting to get her so early. Listen to this beat. I love it. Okay, Skin Foxy is her... Dude, she's got this hawk flying behind her? That's sick. I love her personality. I think it's great. She's definitely a fun character, revealed in book 5. Okay, that was kind of weird. Why did they show? Okay, well anyway, that's fine. She's gonna be joined with Lucina. Looks like Marth, some Erica. Got Bramamond in there as well as Edelgard. Got Corrin. Okay, Guinevere. Okay. Freya, and a lot of people are going to be excited. Reagan, of course, making a comeback. Dusel, as well as Sarah. Okay, 8% standard rate. Gotcha. All right, well, that's pretty exciting. I was not really expecting us to get Dagr so quickly. Again, she was just revealed like 2 story chapters ago, I guess. But I guess Book 5 is really full of original characters, and so... they're trying to get a head start, I guess, on bringing them into the fold. So that's totally fine. That's fine by me. I like the Valkyries a lot and their introduction into the game, so seeing them make their debut here is pretty exciting. So it's going to be starting on the 30th of March up until the 5th of April, so 1 full week as usual. Wasn't expecting that, but I'm pleased with the reveal. Let's go ahead, rewind, take a closer look at her art, at her skills, to determine, if I think that she's worth pulling for, and then also additionally just evaluating the banner as a whole and kind of ranking the colors to see if there are specific colors that are worth sniping. So let's rewind and take a closer look at Dagr. Alright, so here she is. I like how they showed the hawk first, which kind of threw me off in a big way. So here's Dagr, the art by Kozaki Yusuke. She is going to be an infantry axe user, which we already knew from the story. I'm a little disappointed in that. I was hoping that the Valkyries would be flyers, personally, because I am biased towards flyers. I'll openly admit that. But her design is really, really cool. Gotta love the huge armored wings and the blood-red cloak that's just running behind her. That huge bird of prey that's kind of perched on top of her with that kind of extravagant headdress there as well. The whites and the blacks and the platinum kind of meshed together to give her almost this pseudo-futuristic ethereal look, like very majestic. And she herself obviously looks the part of a warrior, and she's cool and confident. She's standing strong, hand on her hip, the other one on her trusty axe there, and she is certainly not shy about showing off those abs and those thighs. Clearly, she is ready to take on the world with those. So, yeah, she looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and take a look at the skills that she has. She's in it to have fun. How can you falter for that? So we got a little preview of her skills, of course, during the stories. So she has Skin Foxy is going to be her axe. It's 16 might, grants speed +3, and Pathfinder. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed defense res +5, and bonus to attack speed defense res during combat equal to penalty on each of those stats ×2. So, example, if unit has -7 penalty to attack, grants attack +19 for a net bonus of +12. Calculates each stat bonus independently. Pathfinder is when an ally moves through unit space, that space is counted as 0 spaces moved instead of 1 space. Unit space can be freely added to allies' normal movement, applies only to allies and movement types that allow movement through the unit space. Oh, so that's why they were showing Reagan do that. Okay, I completely missed that when we were watching the first time through. Alright, so let's break that down. By default, without any conditions whatsoever, the weapon grants speed +3, which is solid, and Pathfinder. So Pathfinder is going to allow some very unique utility and support whenever she is on a team. And being able to essentially zero out that tile that she's on as a movement tile. So anybody essentially, as they're moving through her, gets an additional movement tile range, basically. So as you can imagine, that is situational, but at the same time, it is very powerful. And I can imagine some pretty nasty traps being set by using Dagr's Pathfinder ability. I could definitely see certain team compositions really valuing and benefiting from that utility added onto the team. So as far as the conditional aspects of Skin Faxi, the condition is that she has to have at least 25% of her health. It's a relatively easy condition to meet. So as long as she has equal to or above 25% of her health, she gets +5 to all of her stats, nothing to slouch at. As an in-combat buff, that's very solid. Also, grants a bonus to each of her stats depending on what penalty she has on those stats. And so it's not neutralizing the penalty on those stats. It's doubling a boost to fight off the penalty and also add an additional boost. They give you the example right there. But essentially what that means is at a base level, you're going to get +5 to all of your stats, which is great. And then to the extent that you have a negative penalty on Dagr, she's essentially going to use that to her advantage, right? She's going to get, if she has -5 to her speed, she's going to get essentially +10 to her speed to counteract the 5 and get a net +5. So given the fact that there are so many widespread, wide-reaching, and map-wide debuffs out there, it's a pretty useful thing to have in her back pocket. So essentially she can't have her stats debuffed. And in fact, when you debuff her, she gets even stronger. Dragon Fang for the special boosts damage by 50% of units attack. Pretty significant cooldown considering that she doesn't seem to have any skills that reduce her cooldown overall. So it's certainly powerful, but that's why the cooldown is so high. Attack speed push 4 for the A slot. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed +7. But after combat, if unit attacks, deals 5 damage to unit. So this certainly synergizes with her weapon because both of them require her to be at or above 25% health. Now, the push 4 skills do tick damage to her, 5 tick damage every time she attacks. And that can potentially be something of a problem, especially depending on what her HP stat is, in order to meet and consistently have the threshold of the above 25%. For smaller skirmishes, it's really not going to be that big of a deal because on smaller skirmish maps and without reinforcements, she's not going to reach below 25% just from the attack speed push 4 tick damage. But in any other scenario, you might want something to counteract that in some sort of having a healer on the team or having renewal on her seal or something to that effect to be able to take advantage of and counteract the actual tick damage that she's doing so that it doesn't not only impede attack speed push 4, but also Skin Faxi. And maybe that might warrant her swapping out the A slot for something that doesn't tick down her health. Sun Twin Wing for the B slot. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, noticing a theme here, inflicts speed defense -5 on foe, and also neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks, and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks during combat. Interesting. So, once again, got that 25% condition that seems to run through all of her skills. -5 to defense and speed on the opponent is a beautiful thing. That just lets her do more damage, and it also negates their ability to double her, improves her ability to double, and more recently, since there are so many skills that now do damage reduction based on speed, also nullifies or potentially negates some of those effects as well. And additionally, it negates the enemy's ability to guarantee follow-up attacks via skills with stuff like Bold Fighter or Vengeful Fighter or Quick Riposte, and also effects that prevent her follow-up attacks, so Wary Fighter and things of that nature. So you can kind of think of Sun Twin Wing as essentially giving her that debuff on her opponent and also just neutralizing all skills with respect to follow-up attacks when she's in combat. The enemy, if they have skills that guarantee follow-up attacks, those are nullified. Preventing follow-up attacks, those are nullified. So it resets the stage as far as those skills are concerned and lets the speed do the talking, right? And she's probably going to have some pretty decent speed. The Skin Faxi has +3 speed. Attack speed push 4 is her A slot skill, so it looks like they're just, again, trying to capitalize on her offensive stats. So I wouldn't be terribly surprised. And also, of course, Sun Twin Wing itself gives inflicts -5 speed on her opponent. So All of those things in tandem gives her the ability to naturally double and prevents any skill shenanigans to stop that from happening. Even Tempest 3 for the C slot at start of even number turns, unit can move 1 extra space. That turn only does not stack. We have Odd Tempest 3 on Legendary Dimitri, I believe, so it's natural that we would see even Tempest 3 at some point, and it's on her. Which I suppose is fine. It's a fun toy to play with, and I could actually see it being pretty useful in giving her additional mobility so that other units can take advantage of her Pathfinder. It gives her the ability to move across the map a little bit quicker and position herself to take advantage of the Pathfinder. I could see that, but at the end of the day, I feel like there are so many other C-slot skills that she could probably take advantage of rather than using that. But it is unique and it is rare. It's a skill that's not that common, so it's nice that it's on her. So honestly, Dagr to me looks really strong here. Does she look amazing? No, I don't think she's amazing. She's a little bit too fair for that. Like when I look at her skills here, they just seem too honest. Like they give her some substantial boosts. They reset some of the ground rules. They let her take advantage of her offensive capabilities. They give some unique utility onto a team. But there's no combination here that I find like completely overwhelming or absurd. Which we've seen a lot of lately. So again, I think that she is strong. I think she's definitely going to can be an absolute asset on teams, especially when utilizing Sun Twin Wing and Pathfinder. And she's going to hold her own in most scenarios just by being able to completely negate debuffs on any of her stats, which is it's a valuable thing. So let's keep going here. Let's take a look at her attacking art and animation. She just looks so cool here. That bright red cape just flowing behind her. She's in mid-swing, showing off the guns a little bit. And then the hawk above her is in mid-swoop as well. Get another view of course, those very, very impressive abs. And I really dig the Lycra, almost fitness gear type look to her leggings and her arm wrap there. I think it looks great. So let's see her attacking art. I love the fact that the hawk kind of dives with her. Super cool. And then again, this is showcasing her special art, and she's going all out here. I look at that fierce expression on her face. She has energy dancing off of her axe mid-swing, and she's got this overhead swing that is just going to pack a wallop on anything in her way. And of course, with every piece of her art, it just showcases her abs. So I'd be completely remiss to not mention how impressive her abs look here as well. But yeah, I mean, it looks awesome. The art is great. Yeah, and Ephraim goes down. And now this is going to showcase the Pathfinder, I believe. The Pathfinder ability. Yeah, so I didn't count the movement here, as it were. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's break down the banner a little bit. We've got Dagr on the green. Let's look at green first. She is paired with Legendary Edelgard as well as Freya. That is a stacked color for sure. Dagr is going to be the marquee character, so people are going to be gunning for her. And again, I think that she's going to be fun to use and is going to be a pretty powerful character. Legendary Edelgard, she also is just a menace on the battlefield. Freya similarly is just an absolute beast, no pun intended. So those three are absolutely dominating women, all on green. Not much to complain about there. If you are missing at least two of those units, you're in good shape to summon on green, I would say, because green is pretty darn stacked. Now let's look at red. So we've got Reagan as well as Erica, and finally we have Marth. So that's, I would say, a little bit weaker. Actually, quite a bit weaker. Reagan, everybody has. Not that having multiple Reagans isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the fact that everybody has a Reagan, I think, diminishes overall her desirability on the banner as a whole. Erica is definitely one of the older legendary heroes. Marth, also one of the older legendary heroes. Being reds, they have a lot of competition in general, even being outside of the role of a legendary hero. So red is definitely not, I think, up to the caliber of green, at least in this instance. If we take a look at blue next, so we've got legendary Lucina, we have Guinevere, and we have Dusel. So I personally would put blue above red. I wouldn't put it at the same level as green. I think legendary Lucina, despite her age, has some very unique utility, is actually still very useful and very potent today. Guinevere is just an absolute mage killer. I mean, she's an absolute destructive force. Dusel is just a huge tank, like a huge tank on a horse, and has some nice skills as well. So that's, all in all, that's why I would put blue certainly in between red and green. And if we look at colorless, we've got Bramamond, as well as Sarah and Legendary Corrin. So Legendary Corrin, if you're just gunning for Legendary Corrin, you already know you should be summoning on the A Hero Rises banner that's currently up, because you have a higher chance on that banner than you do on this banner of getting her. But of course, if you're just interested in her and Bramamond, then maybe you could summon, because Bramamond is, of course, very, very strong as well. Has unique abilities in negating enemy buffs on the opposing team. Sarah, additionally, has some pretty unique things built into her staff. And while overall, I think what the color offers is strong, I think that honestly, because Corrin is on A Hero Rises right now at a higher rate, that hurts colorless in my opinion for the timing. So I think that it's actually potentially weaker than blue here, just for that alone. Bramamond is still is very strong. Legendary Corrin is awesome, but again, you can get them at a higher rate. Sarah, unique utility, but I don't know. I don't think that she's a blowout character that's going to carry the color. So for me personally, I think that green's on the top, no question. All three units are powerful units, newer units, popular units. So yeah, I think that they're just up there. Blue, I would put, honestly, a pretty heavy step beneath green. And then colorless, I would put just marginally under blue. And then red, I would put another step below colorless. So that's my overall ranking. I think if you're going to snipe on a color on this banner, you probably want to snipe on green. So that is just my take on the banner. I think that me personally, I might go in a little bit for green here. I don't have Legendary Edelgard. Obviously, I don't have Dagr. I would love to get both of them. I have Freya, but I'm not going to turn my nose at another Freya. So I think that I might go in a little bit for green. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain, but that if I were to go in on a color, it would be green. But let me know in the comments below if you are excited for Dagr, if you're excited for any of these specific units returning, and if you're going to be going for them, which ones you're going to be going for. Wish you the best of luck. Hope you get everything that you need. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you all so much for watching and for taking time out of your day to spend with us. We really do appreciate it. Certainly hoping you're all staying safe, healthy, secure, and united out there, and wishing the very, very best for you, your family, and your friends. And until next time, let's protect those skies.